Do you think you know the people around you? You believe you can identify when someone is toxic, when an energy is heavy, when a behavior crosses the line of what is acceptable. But what if I told you that the real dangers are not obvious? That the most destructive people are often charming, kind, even family members, and that while you try to protect yourself from the obvious villains, you are opening the doors of your mind to something infinitely more dangerous, the unconscious of others invading your own. Carl Gustav Jung dedicated his life to studying these hidden dynamics. In his work, The Ego and the Unconscious, he reveals that most of what truly governs us is not under our conscious control. This applies not just to you, it applies to everyone. And that is precisely where the danger lies. Because when someone is blind to their own darkness, that shadow seeks a host. And often that host is you. Perhaps you have never stopped to think about this, but think now. How many times have you felt emotionally drained after talking to someone? How many times have you been blamed for something you didn't do, or treated as the savior of a tragedy that wasn't even yours? Jung called this projection, an unconscious mechanism where the other projects onto you what they refuse to see in themselves. From that moment on, you cease to be a person and become a symbol, a mirror, an imaginary enemy, an idealized hero. And all these images have something in common. None of them is truly you. But the most frightening part is that often you don't even realize you are in this game. You think you are helping, that you are being empathetic, that you are being mature. Meanwhile, you are sinking into a psychological field that is not yours, trying to resolve conflicts that are not yours, being manipulated by dynamics that were not created by you, but now control you. And it's not just about ill-intentioned people. Jung made it clear. The greatest dangers do not come from conscious perverts, but from unintegrated, unconscious ones. They are those who live alienated from their own psyche, dominated by masks, traumas, complexes, and repressed desires. They are not evil. They are dangerous. And this danger is silent. It doesn't come in through the front door. It infiltrates, slowly, daily. Through small comments, veiled accusations, loaded silences. Until you start to doubt yourself, and when you lose contact with your own psychic reality, you become part of their shadow. Perhaps you are going through exactly this right now. In a relationship, in a friendship, in a work environment, even within your own family. And perhaps you are blaming yourself, trying to understand what is wrong with you. The answer is nothing. But there is something deeply wrong with the way you are being used as a vessel for someone else's unconscious. In this video, we will expose one by one the 6 types of people that Jung would identify as emotionally dangerous. Types that act not with deliberate malice, but with internal forces they themselves do not understand, and that is why they are so destructive. We will use Jung's words, his concepts and warnings, directly from his works such as Aion, The Ego and the Unconscious, and Archetypes and the Collective Unconscious, to show you how to recognize these profiles. But more than that, we will open your eyes to the possibility that perhaps, just perhaps, one or more of these profiles is within you as well. Are you ready? Then take a deep breath and move forward. But be warned, after hearing this, you will no longer be able to look at people, or even at yourself, the same way. Imagine living with someone who blames you for everything they feel, who turns your presence into a trigger, who makes you feel responsible for emotions you never caused. At first, they seem fragile, sensitive, deep. But over time, you realize you are being dragged into a battlefield that isn't yours, and where you are already at a disadvantage. This is the unconscious manipulator, someone who is unaware of